Hello everyone. So yesterday we had seen some basic data types of Python like integers, string, and some string manipulation functions. And today we are going to start with a Python list. So before that, let me just start my tool. It is a bit weird that I don't have my Anaconda prompt available with me right now. Just a second. Let me just install this. So it looks like looks like that yeah, here it is my exe file. Just allow me 2 minutes by the time it will start. Okay. Yes. So what we can do, we will use our online compiler meanwhile it starts. So yes, we was talking about list. So list is actually a kind of a collection of items inside Python. So you can say in easy language, it's an array. Like if you know arrays in other languages, it's an array. But here difference is uh, we can have any sort of data type in the list that is allowed in Python. So it can have we can have list of integers, we can have list of strings, or we can have combination also. Like list also has integer values and it also has string values at the same time. So list you can say is a collection of items and it can hold any data type. Okay. So if I just create a list,
So Ganesh, sorry, this is Bhaskar. So yesterday just missed the class. So probably as a part of data engineer, first we are going through Python.
yes, Bhaskar. So we are going to start this course with Python because we will
Okay.
need Python to code AWS Lambda and AWS Glue,
Yeah.
and then we will, this two or three classes we'll have on starting. We'll have on the Python,
Okay.
and then we will move ahead to cloud engineering concepts.
Perfect.
I hope
Okay.
that you have seen some demo videos which I have done.
Yeah. I'm just going through that. Anil has shared the recording, so I had to go through that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll go through that. Yeah.
Actually, I know, no, no. Till yesterday, I had that Anaconda with me in my laptop. So just gone for a toss. I'm just installing it again, but this will take some time. So that's why I'm just going for online compiler.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, so this is an online compiler, so it will just suffice our work for now. So if I just take some example of list creation, actually before this I can like this can. So if I just take this item, okay, if I just paste it here, yeah, I just pasted it here. If I run this, I'm getting my output hello world, and if I just do print of, if I just do print of my list, and again I'm reminding that this Python is a case sensitive language, so we have to be careful here while writing any code. You can see I can see my values if I print list, okay, and now if I just print the type of my list that I have created, just print type clouds, then you can see it's a class of list. Okay. Now, as you can see, right now I have defined a list which is having uh, three items inside that, and these three items are type of strings only. Okay, so to verify the type of this item, I can do it for simple for loop for item in clouds. Okay. I can say print type item. Okay. And I can also print the item also before this print type. Okay. So if I run this thing, you can see first it has printed my original list. Then I just to command these things and then just run this thing. Okay, sorry, my bad. I cannot comment this part. Yeah. So you can see first I have printed my type of list, so you can get the item that I'm trying to print is the type of list. Then one by one I'm printing my value of my item, its value and its data type. So you can see I have my AWS value, and then I have a class string. Then I have my Azure value, then I have class string, and same way GCP is here. Now, one thing, if you have never worked with a for loop of Python, so how it works?
What is the significance of item here? Because cloud is a list, and we understood. So how come this item is reiterating the objects in the list?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Like, if this is maybe the first time you guys are seeing the for loop in the Python, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So how it happens here? This item is not a keyword or literal. Okay, it's a variable. So I can also do it like this. I can just assign a random name also, and then I have to use same name here. We will do it like this only, okay, and still it will work. So what I'm saying basically here is for. You read it like this. For this means we are doing a loop in clouds. Okay, forget about this variable right now. In clouds, you can read it like this. For in clouds. Now what this syntax is going to do? This cloud is a iterable item. Okay, if you there are two kind of things in Python. One is a iterable item. Okay, and second is a non-iterable item. So my list is actually a iterable item. Okay, iterable item means I can use for loop on my uh, list. I can use for loop on my strings. I can, like strings is also an iterable item, or I can use for loop on my dictionaries. So, and one more thing, let me just use hash here, and it is actually indexed. Okay, first of all, my items in my list are indexed. That means it's 0. This is at index 1, and this is at index 2. This is the separate thing. And I was talking about for. So you read it like this: for in clouds. Cloud is a iterable item. That is, it is a list. So what for is going to do, it is going to pick item one by one. So first of all, it's going to pick item AWS 1. Okay, it's and this n is actually going to return whatever is there in the first place. It's going to return in some variable, and that variable I'm named as ABC. Okay, and then its value I'm printing, and then its type I'm printing. Then my control will go back to a for loop, and it's going to go on second item, that is Azure. Its value is going to be transferred into this variable called ABC, and I'm going to print its value and its type. This is how for loop works. So it these are a bit different than while loops and do while loops that we have seen traditionally in maybe C or Java. So here we are actually, you can see I'm not incrementing anything, and I'm not saying while this condition is matched or like that. With for loop, we can very easily iterate through our list and our dictionaries, and by default, they will, move one item by one item, and it's just going to return us back. So is it making sense to you now? Please respond. I mean, if it's not making, then I'll try some other way.
Ganesh, can you repeat one more time, please?
Okay. So, see, let's say I want to do something with my list items one by one. Okay. Let's say, for an example, I want to print the values. Okay. And I also want to print their types. Okay. Now, to do that, I could have used a traditional while loop where I could have say get me index 0 value. Okay, then I will get its value, and then I'll say index is equal to I plus 1. Like if I just use something kind of this I we used to create, and then we used to create I plus plus, that means increment the I values of I. So this kind of things we used to do, but this is actually not required in Python. Python is very simple. You have a list, you want to go to all the items, you simply say for in clouds. Okay, before in, you have to create a variable. This variable can be any name that you think in this world, it could be that name. Okay, this is just a variable, like a normal any programming language variable, this ABC. This will store whatever is there in clouds one by one. Okay, so first my for loop is going to say for in cloud. That means in this list, what is there at the first place? First place, we have AWS as a literal value of string that we are going to get in this ABC. So first time it's going to be like ABC is equal to AWS. Okay, it's going to be in the first place. Then I'm just printing my ABC. That is not variable I'm printing, and then I'm printing its type of my variable. Once this is ended here, like this loop definition ends here on line number 13. Okay. Once this loop is completed, then it's going to loop again, and it's going to take, do we have any more items in this list? If yes, then we are going to go ahead on our second item. Then its ABC's value will be changed to Azure. So it's actually just, oh, it is actually become unresponsive. Okay, maybe it will just come in a few seconds, come back in a few seconds. Due to this installation, actually this is happening. Okay, it's that. Yeah. So second time it will become Azure. Okay. Second in second iteration it will become Azure. Then I am printing my value. You can see I have printed Azure. Then I am printing the type of my item. I have printed a string here. Okay. And same way, third time it will be replaced by GCP. Then I'm just printing the value of ABC, and then I'm printing the type of ABC. You can see GCP, then class of string. Maybe if I just go ahead and add one more item in my list, and let's say this time I just add a number 200. Okay, If I remove this thing, because this is going to give me syntax error. Just for representation, I made it like this. This is my loop again. If I execute this, you can see I'm getting my last value as 200, but my class this time is integer. As I have explained yesterday, based on the values that a particular variable stores, a data type is defined in Python. Okay. So even for this clouds variable, which is just a variable here, how it's defining its type is list. You can see it's printing its type is list. It is identifying because we have used two square brackets. Okay. Based on these two square brackets, this variable is identified that it is a type of list variable. Same way, for its items, we have 200 here. And as this is an integer value, my code is giving me type as an integer. If I make this is 200.0, and if I run this thing, then I'll get my class as float, that because it's intelligently it is identifying that this particular thing is a floating point number. Or if I use the quotes here, anything inside single or double quotes is treated as string. So if I run this now, my 200 will be treated as string only. So this is how for loop works, and this is how you can define your list into the Python. One more noticeable thing here is that how we are defined that this is the scope of loop, that this print statement is inside my scope of for loop, or this print statement is inside my for loop. How we are defining that? We are defining it by this particular four spaces. Okay. Python is completely indentation based language. Like if you have worked with Java or C, we used to have curly braces to sorry guys, I was kicked out of this meeting. So can you please just let me know what was the last word that you heard? Hello. So actually, I was just explaining about how this indentation helps Python, how this indentation works in Python. So are we on the same page? Hello. Hello, can you hear me, guys?
Uh, I think indentation we haven't able to listen. I believe like
Okay.
after I think we understood the for loop. Later I
Yeah,
think it got problem. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. So in for loop, sorry, in indentation, see, if I just remove these two things, okay, if you type anything, okay, if you type anything after the for, and once you press colon, if I press enter, by default my cursor will come down to four spaces letter point, okay. So if I just paste my code back again, okay, if I just write it like this, I'm going to get syntax error. It's going to say indentation error expected an indented block after for. This means it is clearly saying after a for loop, at least there should be inside for loop, there should be at least a mock statement inside the for loop. So first line, I cannot start from the first place itself. So I have to press a tab or four spaces. Anything will work. If I press tab here, then it is working fine. Okay. Then my second type, like if I just, do it like this, then my second print statement, it's not going to give me syntax error, but it is also not going to give me desired output. That means uh, I'm not going to get my type printed for each and every item of my list because this is now not in the scope of my for loop. So you can see little small arrow is also here. So if I just click on this, you can see my print is still there. Okay. If I expand this, it is fine. But this time, if I just, press tab and then I, click on small arrow, you can see my print is also not there because it is identified that both the prints are in the scope of a for loop. So if I just do this again and remove this from the for loop scope, and if I just run it again, you can see values are printed because I was just printing the values, and this print statement is actually inside my for loop, so it is printed 4 times. But my class string is only printed for my last variable. Because once my code is completed, whatever the value was there for the last item, or whatever the type was there for my last item, it has printed it here. So if I want this print statement to be in the scope of my for loop, I have to press a tab here and run it like this. So now I will just take a pause here. If you have any questions about the list, for loop, or indentation, please let me know. So Bhaskar, Rama, Sami, I think, is it clear? You can just ping me in chat or if you are not okay to talk.
Yes.
Okay. Then in between, I also mentioned that we have our list indexed here. Okay. Let me just check it if it's, I think this would take much more time. Our list is indexed here. Okay. That means I can do slicing on my list. Okay. Uh, as we have done slicing on our string variable in yesterday's class, we have learned that we can do slicing on our list also. So if I just remove this print statement, which is just printing the type, if I just say print clouds, and let's say I want to access my variable or my items, which is let's say I just want to get my initial two items. Okay, so I'll just use square brackets. I'll say 0 and I'll say 2. Okay, if I do it like this, and if I run my code, you can see this time my list is not printing all the food item. It is just printing index position 0 and index position 1 item because I have sliced my list. Like I have cut down my list using list slicing options. In this, first number is starting position, second number is ending position, and starting position is included in the output. Ending position is actually not included in the output. Okay. So one more way, let's say I just want to access Azure and GCP. So I will say my starting position should be 1 ending position should be 3. If I execute this code, then I am going to get Azure and GCP in my output. Rest everything is coming via for loop. So I think I can just comment this out for a clarity purpose. Okay, if I just run this again, you can see I am just getting Azure and GCP. Same way, if I wanted to get everything after my index number 1, I can say like this, 1, then colon, then I will not mention my ending limit, and this is going to mean that I want to read complete list like this. Same way, if I don't mention my starting list, starting position, and I simply mention my ending position, let's say 3, then I'm going to get my list till index position 2 because 3 is an ending limit and it is not included. Making sense? Okay, so just to inform you guys, silence from here on, I am going to consider as a yes from each and everybody. Okay, please interrupt me if you're not getting it. Please do not just let it go if you're not getting it. Do call it out and let me know. Okay, I'll try my best to explain these things to you.
So Ganesh, always we need to include the square brackets for the slicing, right? Not the open and closed brackets.
Yes, we have to use square brackets also. These braces are for my print statement.
Yeah.
Okay. So then there are some few functions which are available in Python to work with list. So let's say I just create this thing and then I will just paste my code and you can see I'm using a function called append. Okay. And what this append will do, it is going to add this particular item in my list. So if I just execute this code, so you can see, let me just comment this print statement. You can see now I have one more item added into my list. So if you want to add any item in your list, you can use append function. Okay. Same way, we have a one more function called extend. So difference between append and extend. Uh, just a second. I will just also print append output. And same way I will print extend output. Okay. So if I run this code, okay, what's going to happen? The definition of extend says it adds iterable item into the list. That means, see, this string is also as considered as iterable item. So this string is also having, like if I just type it here, same string Oracle, the string is also having index position, like 0 position is given to O. Same way, R is having position 1 and A is having position 2 and C is having position 4. Like this, every character of a string is also indexed. That means it is a iterable item. I can use for loop on my string also. In that case, it is going to print character by character details of a string.
C is 3, right?
Come again?
In the Oracle, I think the position of C is 3. Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, by mistake I printed 4. So yes, it is correct. So extend says it is going to take index by index thing and it is going to append. So if I execute this code, I am going to get Oracle appended into my clouds index by index. Like all the items in this list or all the characters in this list are going to get appended as an individual elements inside the list. Okay. So if I'm using extend, I have to keep this thing in mind. So how extend is supposed to be used? Like if I just take this code again, and in like if you see this time I have used double quotes on Oracle. Okay, if you see I have used double quotes on the Oracle. If I just use, if I enclose this inside square bracket, then this Oracle will be treated as a list which has only one item, that is called Oracle, and its index position is 0. So if I run this code now, you can see my Oracle is completely attached into my list as a single word, not as in a multiple uh, characters. So I hope you're getting this. Like this time this particular thing which I'm passing inside my extend is a list, and Oracle is placed at complete word is placed at position in 0. Okay, but here my Oracle is a string, and at 0 position only O is positioned, only O is placed. Rest other characters have their own indexes, and that's why index by index my that's why index by index my Oracle has been appended into my original list. So now I will just take a pause here, and if you have any questions, you can ask me.
So Ganesh, so append is if you just give even though for a character, I mean sorry, if the word it has two wording it has as a added. So if I just give extent of Oracle like Oracle course in a single string, so how it will emphasizes like it will course also will be extended as a character by character or how like.
So you are saying if I just at this place, if I just say Oracle course like this,
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
It will be character by character. And if I do it here, like adding one more item in my list, and it will be word by word. So just run this. You can get it here. Oracle, then course, but here it is Oracle and course. And see, difference between append and extend. Now, here are the use cases. If you just want to append only one word, okay, into the list, then you can use append function. But if you want to append multiple items inside the list, you can use extend. Now am I making sense?
So multiple items in the sense like.
Let's say let's say, or you can say if you want to append list into list, you can use extend. If you want to append string into list, then you can use append function.
Right.
So you can see I have just appended Oracle and course all together in my on my list using extend method. So if you have such a requirement where you have one list and you want to add another list into that, then you can use extend. And if you have a requirement where you have list and you want to add some string into that, add one element of a string type, then you can use append function.
Yeah.
Then moving ahead, we have pop and remove. So what pop does? Pop actually removes the pop actually expects index number that you want to be removing from your list. So if I say cloud.pop and 0, so whatever is there in my list, like if you see my final list is like this, this is my final list after all the append and extend. Then at 0 position, I have AWS. So if I run this pop, my AWS is going to be kicked out. So if I just run this, you can see in my final output, I do not have AWS here. I have Azure here. Okay, so its pop is simply just taking index position and it is deleting that item from this. So if I just say index position 3 or 2, if I run this, my GCP is gone because this is at the index position 0. Sorry, this is at the index position 2. That's why my GCP is gone from the list. So any value that you want to remove from the list using its index, then you can use pop. Or if you want to remove a string value directly from list by using its value, then you can use remove. So if I just do it, now if I run this, you can see neither you will see in the panel one, neither you will see like it's there AWS N200. You won't see the Azure because I have removed it from line number 27. You won't see GCP because I have removed it on line number 24. This is how pop and remove works. Just two different ways to removing item from your list. Okay, so then uh, we have dictionaries. I mean, there are some more methods. I will share some notes of Python, those you can explore. And if you face any challenges, you can let me know because each and every function is not so useful also, and it's not, we don't have enough time to, go function by function. You can just simply try those things. They will have their definitions, their use cases, and all those things you can try and let me know. And I will just delete all this code and I will create my dictionary. Dictionary in Python are just key value pairs. Okay. They are simply the key value pairs. They have one key and they have its value assigned to it. And like in list, like a list, they can have any data type available inside their values or even the keys. So if you can see, right now I have a list dictionary that have AWS as a key and its value is a type of list. You can see I have square brackets here. That's why I can tell this is a type of list. Then second, I have Azure as a key and its value is kind of, a string because I just have double quotes here. And third is obviously is a integer type. So if I just, print this, then I'm going to get my output very visibly and I can see my dictionary in my output. Okay. Then like if you want to get complete items of the list, you can use this items method. This is going to return the same thing that int has returned. It's going to return us all the items of our dictionary. That means it's going to return us both keys and its value. So if I just run this, I'm going to get this output, like this particular output from dict item, I'm getting from my items function. Okay. You can see first it is returning key, then by comma, it is returning me its value. Then one more comma is there, or actually this is encapsulated in the braces. This is my one item. Then you can see all the items are encapsulated in the braces. Same way, if you just want to get the keys of my dictionary, like what keys I have in my dictionary, you can have this sort of code. Here you can just type cloud, your dictionary name, then keys. That means you just want to list the keys that you have inside your dictionary. So for that, simply click on run and you will get this output, which is going to list your keys. Okay. Same way, we have one more function that is values that returns only the values. Like item returns both key and values. Key returns only keys and values return all the values that you have inside your dictionary. It's going to return it like this. Now you can see I do not have my keys involved here. Okay, so just understand we we have dictionaries that is a key value pair. Key and value both can be of any of type data type. Okay, then we have some useful functions to list the items of the dictionary or to get the keys of the dictionary or to get the values of the dictionary. So these things we can try on. And likewise, we have in a list, we can also append some items or update some items or remove the items from my list. So I have an update example handy with me. So for that, you just have to say clouds, your dictionary name, and update. And what are you updating? You are updating the value of GCP key. Earlier it was 2000, now you're making it 3000. So if I just execute this code, it's going to be run like this. And let me just comment all these things, so we will get clear output now. If I just run this, you will get the final print only working. And now you can see GCP's value has been increased to 3000. So where this dictionaries comes handy, whenever we are working with AWS services, we will use Boto3. And whenever we are going to launch request index, then its output we are going to get in this complex JSONs or list only. So don't worry about that. When we will reach on the AWS Lambda functions, I am going to explain you that line by line, step by step. So you can get that thing. Instead of memorizing the code, you will get the concept, like how it is working actually. One more last thing that I would like to introduce, I would like to show it to you in the, like this for loop. Just get this for loop also. Then I'll just stop. So you can see this time I am using my for loop on in clouds. Okay, I'm saying for in clouds. Now what function I want to use for this dictionaries, I want to use items. Now as you have seen, if I just uncomment this particular thing, then you can see my item. And if I just comment this for now, and let's just run this remove update. If I just run my items again, you can see it is returning me two things basically in this. This is my one of my item, and it is returning me two things. First, it is returning me key. Second, it is returning me its value. Same thing I have done in my for loop. If you look at this closely, same thing I have done in my for loop. Okay, now we can see that I am getting two variables. Okay, this key and value are actually the variable names. Okay, I can also call them A, and I can call them B here, and same way it will be A here, and it will be B here. Okay, so just you guys don't get confused. These are not keywords; these are just variables. And cloud.items actually returns both keys and values. Same keys and values using comma separator here. I am getting in two different variables here, A and B. Okay, then I'm printing this thing for key, and then I'm printing my value of key using variable. Then I'm printing its value is this particular value. Now you can see I have used str here. Okay, why? Because if I just don't use str here, you can see my first item is a type of list, my second item is type of string, and third item is type of integers. And in Python, you cannot append using plus sign. Okay, this plus sign that I have here, a string into integer or a string into list. So if I just remove this str for now, I'm going to get an error. And it's going to say can only concatenate string to string, not list. That means a string can only be appended into a string. It cannot be appended into a list. That's why I have just used str here. What this str does, whatever the data type this particular B is having, whether it's a list, whether it's an integer, whether it's a string, it's going to convert all those data type into a string. This is called typecasting. If you have worked with C or Java, this is called typecasting in every programming language. Okay. So here doing typecasting is very easy. We just have to say str. If you wanted to convert our things in integer, then we have to say int. That's all we have to do. So if I run my code now, you can see I have printed my statements very clearly. Like for key, AWS value is this particular value. Now, when this value has been printed, has printed as a string, not as a type of list. Same way I have printed my Azure and GCP. So here now I will take a pause, and if you have any questions, you can let me know.
Ganesh, like for A, so we have like pre-edition and post plus sign. But for STR, just only pre plus. So, then what
See,
is it? How?
because before A we are also appending a hard-coded string. After A we are also appending a hard-coded string. But you can see, like, after my values I'm not printed anything. So if I just use plus here, and then if I do something like this extra, this is like going to print this hard-coded string after my value. So you're going to get like Microsoft Azure extra 200 extra, or after this you're going to get extra here. So if I just execute this, then it's going to be like this.
Oh, right. Okay. Makes sense. Thank
I have just formatted my print statement so it can be read easily on the console.
you. Yeah.
Okay. So are we good, or you have some questions? Okay. Okay, so I'll just stop sharing. I think yes, I have done. And Ganesh, can you please stop recording? And Bhaskar, my name is Jalaj actually, and Ganesh is